All right, so let's move on to variables. Variables is also something that every language have. A variable basically is going to be a name for a value you want to store. A variable has a name, so that can be anything. You can type in basically whatever. And that's basically declaring a variable if this thing doesn't exist. Okay. So if this name never exists before, you are creating a new one. And you can give it a value. Okay. And the value can be also all different data types, like for example, happy. Now you're creating a variable with this type of this value here, and this value is a type of string, right? A sequence of letters, and you're basically now creating a variable of type string, and its value is happy. And when that is done, you can print the variable. So you can print whatever here, and you run this, you're printing happy. Okay. So a lot of things is happening here. When you declare and initialize the whatever variable, the computer does two things. One is it's asking the system to allocate a memory in the memory card. You have a memory card in your computer. That's basically a really long card that has basically the temporary storage on the in the computer for your program to store data, and it's basically allocating a data, right? A space, right, for you to store that data, and that space have this name whatever. Okay, and the value stored in that space is happy. Okay, and you're printing that out. Okay, now in Python, if you do create a variable like this, it's a bit more complicated than this. If I want to explain more, but for now, let's just remember this, right? What happens here is a certain amount of space. Now, how that is determined is not needed to be understood yet, because this is complicated. Because it can be like so many different things. So the space is actually flexible in this case, but basically that space will be used to store the data here that you passed in to this variable, and we're basically printing it out. All right. So this data type can be flexible, so you can say whatever equals 3, then it's going to print out 3, and whatever can equals to like true or false, which is going to be like a different data type, like it's called boolean, and you can see it's printing out true. Okay. So this is basically what a variable is, and the reason we use variable is because the variable has a name, and the name is easier to understand than the value. Okay, so you can say, for example, if you're doing a program for like a data type, a data base for your employees, then you need a bunch of different things to remember, right? So you need to know their name. So you can say name equals to whatever, Ted, right? And age will be equals to 26. Gender will be equals to male. Actually, this has to be quotation mark, right? And you need those three things. Okay, so now you can say print the employee's name is, and then you just type in name, right? And his age is, and you type in age instead of 26. And we probably need to say he is, the gender is, and then gender. So you type in all those variables instead of the actual value that makes it, makes more sense, right? So the employee's name is Ted, the gender is male, and his age is 26. Okay, just to organize it a little bit better to have. comma there. Okay, so those are variables. Okay, and we use variables all the time. And just remember two things: a variable has a name, basically what those are, and they have a data type, right? It can be a string, it can be a number, and then they also have the specific value, which is the, 10 or 26. And also remember that every variable you create will take some space in your memory card. Okay, and different data type have different sizes. That's not very important in our case, unless you're doing low-level programming, that you need that performance. And most of the times, the performance bottleneck, or what really impacts the performance, is the amount of memory you're using and transfer or reading and writing all the time. If you do that a lot, then the performance will be low. Okay. Anyway, so that's gonna be it for the variables.